As we approach the end of December, we have an opportunity to take some time to reflect. Hello and welcome to this Year in Review edition of Volusia Magazine. I'm Amber Patterson, and thanks for tuning in. Today, we'll take a look back at some of the events that made 2014 a successful year for Volusia County. Sunrail service from the DeBerry station began. Trader Joe's broke ground on the construction of a major distribution center in Daytona Beach, and the 2014 World Trampoline and Tumbling Championships were held in Daytona Beach's Ocean Center. We'll have a chance to take a look back with Business Beat reporter Joanne Magley, Volusia Here and Now reporter Kendra Lee, Community Health reporter Stephanie Strong, Horticulture Today reporter Joe Sewards, and Community Information Director Dave Byron. With those segments, news, and more, I hope you stay tuned. All aboard! Paving the way for the future economic development in Volusia County in general, the Sunrail train station in DeBerry opened in the spring of 2014 for regular service. The grand opening ribbon cutting was held March 29th to an enthusiastic crowd of supporters and elected officials. After a brief ceremony which included comments by Congressman John Mica, County Chair Jason Davis, and County Council member Pat Northey, the public was invited to tour the Sunrail trains and the Votran buses prior to regular service, which began officially on May 19th. Earlier this year was big news that the Volusia County Council awarded a contract to P&S Paving, a Daytona Beach company, to construct the Mason Avenue extension and associated road and utility improvements to support the construction of a Trader Joe's distribution center on the west side of Daytona Beach. Trader Joe's is a California-based upscale grocery store chain that will bring a significant number of jobs into the county. The county's Economic Development Division worked collaboratively with the Team Volusia Economic Development Organization, the City of Daytona Beach, the state, and Consolidated Tomoka Land Company to put the complex deal together. An $88 million investment by Trader Joe's, the distribution center, is predicted to generate 400 local jobs and be a catalyst for other developments at the site near the intersection of Interstates 95 and 4. The 2014 World Trampoline and Tumbling Championships is one of the International Gymnastics Federation's championship events, and it was held at Daytona Beach's Ocean Center this year. Nearly 300 of the world's best trampoline and tumbling gymnasts competed in the three-day championships that were held November 7th through 9th. Let's take a look back with correspondent Joanne Magley on the Business Beat at some of the services and products that make Volusia County unlike anywhere else to visit, to live, and to work.
2014 was an eventful year for the business community, and I had the opportunity to feature many of the significant happenings in my Business Beat report. From small businesses that undergo major expansions to local companies that do most of their business outside the United States, here's a look back at some of my Business Beat features of 2014. Germ-Free started in 1962, primarily producing equipment for hospital pharmacies. As the company grew, it expanded its product lines to include laboratory equipment for specialized labs and mobile and modular laboratories.
In Germ-Free, one of our main product areas is hospital pharmacy equipment. And Germ-Free supplies about 35% of that market in the U.S. So really, any hospital in any city, there's a 30% chance that they have a germ-free product.
Germ-Free also produces glove boxes for more sophisticated biocontainment labs. Exporting makes up 65% of Germ-Free's business. Landy credits the county's Economic Development Division for helping expand his business to the global market. Electrolyzed water systems have been around for more than a century, but Viking Pure is unique because of its patented system. That system can turn water and salt into a non-toxic, germ-killing solution. The problem with salt in electrolyzed water is that when you spray it on anything metal or corrosive, the salt will then bring out the rust.
Well, the way that we produce our two solutions is you run salt brine through our cell, and we have electrodes in there that separate the salt ions. So you pull the sodium to one side, and that makes sodium hydroxide, which is our cleaning and degreasing solution. And then it pulls the chlorine to the other side, and we have our hypochlorous acid, which is that sanitizer I just discussed. With those two solutions, they are both 100% non-toxic, and meaning you can spray it in your face, you can get it on your skin, it's not going to hurt you. It's safe for animals, safe for children, and it's safe for any type of surface you want to spray it on.
Traditional sanitizers or disinfectants used in homes and kitchens must be left on the surface for 10 minutes according to the label. Warning says testing shows that a number of pathogens can be killed in just a matter of seconds using the Viking Pure solution. Pathogens like MRSA in less than 20 seconds, Listeria in 10 seconds, and Salmonella and E. coli in just 5 seconds. Alfredo Avila and his wife have owned the DeLand Bakery and Natural Market since 1998. They did a nearly $2 million renovation in 2010, which tripled its space, and they added a deli. The market sells many of the traditional natural foods and products you see at other stores, but what really makes this market different is the bakery, which produces natural, certified organic, gluten-free, and kosher breads and baked goods. DeLand Bakery and Natural Market recently signed a nationwide distribution contract with Kehi Distributors, the nation's largest privately owned wholesale distributor in the health and natural food products industry. Partnering with a large distribution company was one of the recommendations Avila received from the UCF Business Incubator at Daytona Beach International Airport, where he's been a client for the past 2 years. The new distribution contract will allow the company to go from baking 3 days a week to 5 days a week. The market employs 60 people and is set to hire up to 40 more in the next 2 years. Most people will never experience a home flood or fire, but it can happen, and when this type of disaster strikes, an Edgewater business is ready to help. Husband and wife Ken and Anne-Marie Poulin own and operate the business.
First response, this is Anne-Marie.
So that when that flood occurs, we go in and dry that property out. We dry the carpet, sometimes the cavities of the walls. Drywall gets wet, it has to dry. Or we have a mold problem, which goes into another part of what we do. We do mold remediation. It's probably 65–70% of our business here in Florida.
And it's not just natural disasters. Broken water lines from toilets, refrigerators, even hot water heaters account for the majority of emergency calls. In 2014, the company's business grew by 60% and is on track to grow 30 to 50% for the next 2 to 3 years at the Edgewater location. Plans are also in the works for the company to build more locations in Florida in the next 2 to 3 years. The success of First Response Disaster Team is paying off in more than just profits. The company was named the Incubator's 2014 Entrepreneur of the Year. Well, that's it for this look back at some of my Business Beat stories of 2014. Next year, I'll bring you more of the highlights from our business community here in Volusia County. Happy New Year!
This year, we introduced you to a new reporter, Kendra Lee, and she brought us some compelling Volusia Here and Now segments, or as I like to say for this edition, Volusia Here and Now as Volusia There and Was.
This year, in 2014, we have explored, experienced, and really learned about Volusia County. I have had the opportunity to take you on some great adventures in my Here and Now report. Let's take a look back at some of my favorite 2014 features. In 2014, Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University became the home to the largest research telescope in Florida and one of the most powerful telescopes in the country.
It's a Ritchie-Cretan telescope. It has a 1-meter diameter primary mirror, which defines how much light the telescope can bring in. The most useful thing for the public is that it has a lot of light gathering power. So a lot of things that maybe the public has only seen in computer images or something from NASA, they can actually see with their own eye through the telescope.
The Research Quality Telescope is part of the university's plan to strengthen science and engineering programs around its core mission of aeronautics and aviation. The university hopes to attract more students to its new bachelor's degree program in astronomy and astrophysics.
We can take some very brilliant pictures. We can do some interesting science, both for looking for exoplanets and nearby stars, and just taking interesting pictures and scientific data from distant galaxies, nebula, things like that.
Nothing is better than a homemade gift or a new piece of decor to brighten up your home. The Leonia Environmental Center in Deltona has projects every week for kids and families.
I want a hippopotamus for Christmas.
We try to really focus on families for the holiday season, so we offer family-friendly programming. One of the programs that we offer is our holiday wreath making program. It's offered twice a year. Families can come to the LEC and create a fantastic natural wreath for their home. $10 per wreath, and they get all the materials supplied for them. We provide hot apple cider and cookies for them as well. We play holiday music, and they just get a wonderful time to spend with their family creating something beautiful for their house.
Sandpine belongs in Florida and is native to Volusia County, but unfortunately not the scrub jay habitats. The LEC assists land management to remove sandpine and further preserve the scrub jay's home during the holidays. We all know dogs are man's best friend. In fact, more than 35% of the U.S. households have at least one dog. And with 11 dog parks throughout Volusia County, small and large dog breeds can stretch out their paws and socialize.
Our biggest one is Barkley Square Dog Park, located in DeLand. The other dog parks that we have, Gemini Springs in DeBerry, Orange City area, and then Michael Crotty Bicentennial Park up in northeast Volusia County, Ormond by the Sea area.
Volusia County dog parks feature many different aspects. Some of them feature parks that have dog washes, others feature ponds, some have walking trails, but all of them have great features for your dog. And while there's plenty of fun for the four-legged, taking your pooch to the park can easily turn into a family affair. The benefits of dog parks extend to dog owners, many of who learn new training techniques and meet new friends.
When I visit the dog areas, it's really a good social experience. A lot of people, build, friendships at the facilities. There's a lot of talking, a lot of, visiting, So from what I could tell, a lot of folks build some long-term friendly relationship. Bringing your kids with, why not? It's good family time.
The DeLand Historic Mural Walk is a creative showcase of visual stories portrayed through murals done by local artists.
Main Street DeLand Association back in the early 90s, and Pat Rincati, who was a volunteer there, came up with the idea of having some murals around town. And starting in '96, they started the first of 14 murals.
The murals not only give visitors a vivid history lesson representing everything from pre-settlement in this area up through World War II, but also highlight the visual representations of history available with just a walk through the town. It's amazing that there's 18 years of artistic history right here in downtown DeLand. Like the mural behind me, there are 14 other artistic stories and visual stories that are ready to be told here.
Since the murals are 18 years old, we've started a restoration program last year. Many of the murals just needed a little sun protection, some needed some touch-up paint. This particular mural here is our longest, as Bob mentioned, but also one that needs a little more work. And so we've involved Public Works, the City of DeLand. People are very involved in trying to preserve the wall. We've talked to the artists about repainting and different things, and so it's a very key piece to the mural.
Lead artist Courtney Canova and a number of other local artists crafted each mural using different colors, textures, and styles to portray the stories of Henry DeLand, the St. Johns River, steamboats, salesmen, wildlife, old hotels, the Spanish sugar mill, and many more. Thank you for taking a look back at some of my 2014 Here and Now features. I look forward to taking you on some new adventures again in 2015, right here in Volusia County. For Volusia Here and Now, I'm Kendra Lee.
Health reporter Stephanie Strong always has the most up-to-date news when it comes to the Volusia County Health Department. Let's join her now for some of the top health reports of 2014.
Public health played an important role in Volusia County in 2014. The Volusia County Council celebrated this milestone in public health by presenting a proclamation to Dr. T. Wayne Bailey, political science professor at Stetson University, to recognize his tireless advocacy to promote smoke-free public places in Florida.
I had several colleagues at Stetson when I first came to DeLand who were experiencing the effects of secondhand smoke. It resulted in asthmatic symptoms and other kinds of discomfort. And so it was a rather personal matter at first. I began to work with the issue and then got deeper and deeper until it seemed that I had the responsibility to coordinate and see the whole issue work through to the initiative and the referendum that finally gave us the law.
For the first time, Tony Baselli, a former Jacksonville Jaguars player, brought his program called Teach Flu a Lesson to Volusia County.
It is a true partnership with the school district and the health department. Also, I'd be remiss to say also a partnership, because one of the reasons we're able to do this at no cost to the families is we have great partners with all the different insurance companies around the state of Florida, both the private and the managed Medicaid, and that's also why if you do not have insurance, we can offer it to you at no cost as well. So no one is excluded, everybody's included.
Westside Elementary School student Brandon James steps forward to be the first Volusia County student to receive a flu mist vaccine under the Teach Flu a Lesson program, which is designed to vaccinate all county public school students who return parental consent forms. On this day, the fifth grader receives his vaccine from public health nurse Livia Horn. Bullying is a major concern nationwide. We focused on the problem of bullying.
An overview of bullying is actually systematically and chronologically inflicting physical harm or psychological distress on one or more students. It varies from one moment to the next. I mean, we have seen hair color, gender, sex, sexual orientation, failure to attend a party.
Anyone can find themselves the target of bullies.
Bullying is a problem not only in the school systems, but on college campuses and in the workplace. It's something that educators, parents, the community, higher education administrators, as well as supervisors and companies need to address. It is a growing problem, and now with the advent of cyberbullying, it's becoming even more of a problem.
The Department of Health warned against attending illegal tattoo parties and other unlicensed activity.
A tattoo party is an event where somebody hires an unlicensed business or tattoo artist or body piercer to basically set up inside their private home or in a hotel room or other business. Obviously, they're not licensed and they're sometimes very inexperienced. So they're not following good infection control practices that you would see in a licensed tattoo facility. These parties are very popular with younger people, particularly those under the age of 18, because the state law does require that anyone under the age of 18 have at least parental consent in order to get a tattoo.
It is important for people who are seeking tattoos to use licensed artists for their own well-being. Unlicensed tattoo activity may take place under unsanitary conditions, such as not wearing protective gloves and using unsterile equipment. It is better to use a licensed professional. Westside Elementary School students took part in Celebrate Literacy Week and were given the opportunity to listen to motivating stories read by employees from the Florida Department of Health in Volusia County.
Oh, the kids were great. They were really enthusiastic. They wanted to read along with me. They really enjoyed the fact that it was in comic book format, and everybody loves Iron Man.
Florida Blue and Marvel Comics worked together to create a comic book that features Habit Heroes characters uniting with the world-famous armored Avenger, Iron Man. The comic book conveys a positive message about healthy lifestyles in a fun and empowering way. The Florida Department of Health in Volusia County is pleased to partner for this important volunteer reading project. Those are just some of the public health topics we shared in 2014. Stay tuned for much, much more in 2015. For Volusia Magazine, I'm Stephanie Strong, Public Information Officer for the Florida Department of Health in Volusia County.
For the green thumbs in the audience, we'll turn the cameras now to urban and residential horticulturalist Joe Sewards for a look back at sage advice and helpful guidelines in Florida-friendly landscaping.
Hi, I'm Joe Sewards, and welcome to the final edition of Horticulture Today for 2014. Over the course of this last year, our inaugural season of Horticulture Today, we've shared many different tips and highlights of things that have been going on in the horticulture world here in Volusia County. The 9 principles of Florida-friendly landscaping are right plant, right place, watering efficiently, fertilizing appropriately, managing landscape pests responsibly, mulching, recycling, attracting wildlife, reducing stormwater runoff, and protecting the waterfront. Make sure that you plant a plant that is going to fit in the area where you're going to plant it. Right plant, right place is the most important part of the Florida-friendly landscaping program. There's a lot happening here at the Volusia County Extension Office. We are redoing the landscape, the entire landscape, according to Florida-friendly landscaping principles. We were lucky enough to be able to do that through the ECHO grant funds, which is a grant provided by Volusia County. This is phase 1 of our landscape makeover. This will be a demonstration and teaching landscape where people can come out, walk around the landscape, learn each of the 9 principles of Florida-friendly landscaping. We just planted this in August, and already it's starting to fill in, and I'm really looking forward to what it's going to look like next spring. One of the other things that we've managed to accomplish is we planted these 4 beds of caladiums. These are all hybrid caladiums that were developed at the University of Florida. Did you know that the University of Florida has the largest ongoing caladium breeding program in the country? And with the cooperation of one of the professors at the University of Florida, he provided us with these 8 varieties of caladiums to trial here in Volusia County. Not only does it add interest to our landscape and a lot of color, but it's an opportunity for the master gardeners and people that visit the Extension Office to observe these varieties and give us feedback about what they think of them. In case you don't already know it, Volusia County now has a summer fertilizer ban in place. It took effect on July 27th, and the application of nitrogen and phosphorus are now banned between June 1st and September 30th. The concern is the water quality in both the Mosquito Lagoon and the Indian River Lagoon. As many people know, there have been concerns in those lagoons with the death of manatees and dolphins and the decline of seagrass. Partially, this is attributed to the application of fertilizers during the rainy season. So in response, Volusia County Council has imposed a summer fertilizer ban for the application of nitrogen and phosphorus. That doesn't mean that you still can't control weeds and apply other things to your lawn and your landscape. This is an example of one of those products. There are many brand names out there and many retailers sell similar products, but this is one that contains only potassium, which is not a pollutant of our waterways. This also contains sulfur, iron, and magnesium, which will help in maintaining a nice green lawn during the summer. Wow, what a difference 4 months makes. We started this edible landscape project in August, and as you can see, we've got a lot going on here. Plants have really grown. We've actually gone through 1 harvest of spaghetti squash. This is the last of it. Fall is an excellent time to grow edible crops in your landscape. And what we're trying to do here in this demonstration project is show homeowners different ways to incorporate edible plants within the landscape. This is floating hydroponics. This is a great way to grow a variety of leafy vegetables, what I call short-term crops. And in this particular bed, we have examples of collards, we've got Chinese cabbage, we have red cabbage, we have Swiss chard. If you don't have a lot of room, this is a great alternative. A bed like this can be built for under $50. This is a slightly more sophisticated example of hydroponics. This is hydroponic strawberries growing in styrofoam containers in a tower system. These get 15 minutes of a nutrient solution twice a day, just to give you an example of how fast plants grow in hydroponic systems. These strawberries were planted the 1st of October, and as you can see, we've got baby strawberries coming on. In about 2 to 3 weeks, we'll be eating strawberries out of these. So we've covered a lot of ground here in 2014 on Horticulture Today. We have lots more planned for 2015. I welcome your comments and suggestions for things that you'd like to know more about in the world of horticulture here in Volusia County. From everybody here at the Volusia County Extension Office, I'd like to wish you all a very happy and healthy holiday season from Horticulture Today. I'm Joe Sewards.
Let's head into the studio to join Community Information Director Dave Byron as he reflects on a year of in-depth interviews covering countywide topics.
Well, thanks, Amber, and again, happy holidays to everyone. You know, as we close this year, I want to just thank everyone for watching Volusia Magazine. It's a pleasure for the county to put this program on every year. My part on Volusia Magazine is I get to sit down here in the studio and talk with interesting people on subjects that are important to the county and important to the community. And as usual, I had plenty of people to talk about this year and plenty of things to discuss. Let's take a look at some of the interviews of 2014. With preparedness in mind, we have with us in the studio today Volusia County's Emergency Management Director, Jim Judge. You know, even though the forecast is what it is, people need to be ready.
Well, that's the truth. You know, and we always say, you know, make a plan, get a kit, and stay informed.
Beach safety is our subject today, and our studio guest is Beach Safety Ocean Rescue Director, Mark Swanson. Traffic management during a holiday can be a real challenge, and it can back up. So what's the plan?
Our plan is that, you know, the beach fills up very quickly in the morning, right, and we get message boards and signs out there early before they get down close to the beach. So if there's an area of the beach that's already congested and filled up, then we want to direct them to other areas of the beach.
Keith Norden is Team Volusia's president and CEO. He's been on the road a lot these days, pitching Volusia County to companies that may be looking to expand or relocate to our area. Tell us about your organization.
Sure, it's a public-private partnership, and it really came about by the ingenuity and of the county council.
And we have with us in the studio today Volusia County's Mosquito Control Director, Jim McNally. What do people need to do around their properties to help you and help them?
We do say it over and over. I feel like I'm beating the same drum over and over, but tip and toss. So get rid of that water in the containers around your residence.
The county's Economic Development Division keeps very close tabs on several key indicators. It's part of its monitoring of the local economy. Our studio guest is Rob Earhart. He's the county's Economic Development Director. So many positive signs in Volusia County. You know, it's hard to find something negative these days, really.
There really are a lot of positive things going on, and I think a good number of them are tempered, so it's not all going to come at once, but right. Certainly that starts with the recent topping off ceremony at Daytona International Speedway.
And with that, back to you, Amber, and again, happy holidays to everyone.
Thanks, Dave, and thank you for watching Volusia Magazine. As always, if you have any questions about the show, you can feel free to give us a call at any of the numbers you see listed here, or you can log on to volusia.org and click on the News tab at the top of the screen to find us. Incidentally, you can find the County Council's meeting calendar there too. In fact, you can use volusia.org to find out about meeting dates, workshops, topics of interest, activities, and how you can become involved. And we hope you won't forget to listen to Volusia Today. That's Volusia County Government's weekly public radio broadcast. Volusia Today airs every Tuesday and Sunday mornings on the local radio stations you see on your screen. For Volusia Magazine, I'm Amber Patterson, wishing you a happy new year, and I hope you continue to watch in 2015.